Hi, welcome again to another edition of Planetary Calendar. This is our June edition, and I'm one of the authors, Lana D'Amicis, along with my co-author, Ralph D'Amicis, who is behind the camera. And this is my partner in crime, again, Carol Cherry, the publisher.
Hello. June, the month of brides. School's out, summer begins.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned the June bride thing.
Uh-huh.
We didn't even talk that in the prep, but you know, June brides, please get married in the second part of June, not the early part of June, because there are many wonderful, fun things about Gemini. But remember, Gemini is the sign of the twins. So if you don't want to do it twice, get married in Cancer.
Gemini
That's all I'm saying.
Gemini also has a short attention span.
And a duplicitous factor. You know, when you meet a Gemini, you ask them how many mirrors they have in their house. They love that reflectivity, that, you know, finding somebody that's like themselves, you know.
And that's exciting for what Mercury does, or a Gemini
it's
does.
It's fun.
But for marriage, you know, you want family, you know, the second half, Cancer.
A little bit more grounded. I mean, the other signs are fine, and there's a lot of reasons. We do a lot of wedding charts. We love doing wedding charts. They're the most fun. You know, it's funny that June turned into the wedding month, especially the beginning part. Now, having said that, the end of May, same thing. You know, when the sun is in Gemini, there's just the possibility, you know, if you tap into that duplicative energy that Gemini seems to have, that's where you could run into trouble. So if you just want to kind of make sure, steer clear of the end of May or the beginning of June. That's all I'm saying.
And I mean no disrespect to our lovely Gemini friends when I say short attention span, but there's something shiny and interesting and something else over there that they want to see. So, you know, that's
and they'll be the first to admit it.
What makes that work. You know,
we love Geminis for their entertainment value alone.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, the Geminis for dinner companions, very entertaining.
Absolutely.
Very entertaining.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And of course, people are more than their sun signs. We're just talking about the sun as the significator of the rest of your life partnership. So that's my caution there. But we digress.
We do. The month starts off with a full moon once again on the 2nd. That will be the full moon in Sagittarius at 9:18 a.m. If you're following along with your planetary calendar, you need to add an hour now that we're in daylight savings time, of course. And so again, with the full moon in the beginning of the month, makes people anxious to get started, to get going. And the full moon on the 2nd makes our inner kid want to run outside and play. And of course, our actual kids want to run outside and play too, as school is ending. So it's a big change up for a lot of families as they adjust to the summertime schedule.
Well, and you know, Venus on the 5th, Venus enters Cancer. And so she's been sort of super mom in
that's
May.
Leo.
I mean, Leo, coming from Cancer. So she's been kind of super mom in May when she moved over from Gemini, you know, being one of the kids, to being mom in, you know, Cancer. Now she wants to be the star. So it's like, okay, now mom's been working really hard. Let me relax. Let me be the queen. You know, you do a little, go entertain yourselves kind of a thing, you know?
Funny you should say that, because I always think most of us moms start the summer, this is going to be the best summer ever. We're going to travel. We're going to go to amusement parks. We're going to have so much fun.
Leo?
And that plan doesn't always work out, but we very often start with that intention. And that makes mom the star of the show, to be the ultimate cruise director, you know.
Well, and when it starts to get really old, then back to school. So then you find yourselves dancing on the shopping cart in Staples, the happiest day of the year.
Looking for school supplies.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, you know, but it's only June. Let's not rush it. You know, we've got, you know, a really nice day on the 5th when Venus enters Leo. So look for a little more time in the sun. Look for a little more of what you need than what everybody in the family or everybody else kind of needs. Venus is about self-indulgence, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's not a negative thing. You have to
Comfort.
exactly. But this is comfort on stage, you know, because Leo doesn't do anything without the sun shining.
Right.
You know, Leo is ruled by the sun, and so Leo likes to shine. So.
Wow. And this year, let us not forget that we have Jupiter in Leo. And so just for a couple more months. So all of you Leos out there looking to get lucky during Leo and Jupiter time, you got a couple months left for that. But, you know, Jupiter in Leo is also trining Uranus in Aries. And so, you know, interesting new things to do. You know, certainly that sounds like a great time to try new things. It also bodes well for internet businesses and unconventional money, making money in new and unusual ways or industries.
And I have to say, going back to that Venus and Jupiter both in Leo, isn't that your classic go to the casino transit?
Yes.
Yeah.
When Venus and Leo are conjunct, and I believe that they are
Venus and
on
June
the 30th.
and Jupiter.
Venus and Jupiter, yes, conjunct in Leo on the 30th. That is June 30th. That's a day to go to the casino.
In a good aspect with the moon and Sag. I mean, come
It's
on.
also a great day to meet somebody or get married, especially if you have Venus and Leo natally at that position like I do. So that looks like a lovely
wink,
romantic
wink, nod,
day.
nod.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You know, with all the changes that have been going on, who knows what's going to happen? And again, with Jupiter conjunct Uranus, change, surprise, liberation, invention, and freedom are on the order of the month, really.
I shouldn't be surprised anymore because I have known friends who have had any number of surprise weddings. What a concept. I mean, to somebody, you know, who's a Scorpio sun with a Taurus moon and Capricorn rising, a surprise wedding would never happen. But I have so many friends and people that I know who have happily benefited from the concept of a surprise wedding. So
it takes the pressure off for the
who knows?
surprisee, doesn't
That's right. That's for sure. I think the surprise has most often been on the bride, though. I wonder if it would work that other way around. I'm really not sure. I don't think I've ever heard of the bride surprising the groom with a wedding. I think that's called shotgun or something. Like that's a whole different concept there.
And there you have the difference between Venus and Mars, my friends.
Exactly. And yeah, and Saturn and Jupiter thrown in there for good measure.
There you go. Well, so we still have Mercury retrograde as the month begins, but mercifully he goes direct on the 11th. And look, it's not even a box day. Now that's unusual, isn't it? Our box day is on the 9th instead of the 11th.
Well, and you know, sometimes you're right. A lot of times when a planet changes direction, especially from a problematic, if that was going retrograde on that day, that would most certainly have a black box on it. But sometimes even when a planet goes direct, we'll call that a black box day only because that change of direction or going from stationary to some movement just creates what we call planetary turbulence.
Yeah, unpredictability.
And so when there's unpredictability, it's not sort of the classic white circle day when you would want to start something. Now, of course, on the 9th, we do have a black box. That's the third quarter. Sun square moon, that normally would not really be enough to make that a black box day. But with Pluto well aspected by the moon, that can be sort of a profound situation emotionally. And then with Mars ill aspected by the moon, not getting along very well by the moon, you know, Mars and Pluto have sort of a synergy, so they're, you know, in an opposite condition right there. Emotionally speaking, so we didn't like that, and we also didn't like the fact that the moon is void of course for a good part of the work day. So that void of course starts at 10 a.m.
Well, 11 a.m.
And you have to add. And if you're watching this in a different time zone, of course, the calculation for adding or subtracting hours is at the bottom of every page of the calendar, so that can keep you. But we're of course talking about Pacific time. So those are the reasons that went into that particular black box day. We don't just call a sun square moon. Otherwise, we'd have a a black box on every sun square
Right.
moon.
Yeah, no, that's not
You know.
traditionally the way we do it. And
Right.
if you haven't been following along, a box day is a terrible day to start new things. And that's usually due to the unpredictable energy of the day.
Either something is non-supportive or downright, keeping you from achieving something, or there's something hidden, or like you say, unpredictable. And so we just don't advise you to start a new project that day because you could be in for some surprises or setbacks.
Now, a box day is a great day to finish up old projects. In fact, oftentimes during a box day, because of the unpredictable nature of the energy, you can see an old problem in a new way, or get a better reception from something old, or an old client, or, come back and talk to somebody again on a box day.
Or that same unpredictable aspect shows you something that needs to be corrected. Yeah.
Right. So that's a great day to wrap up something old. On the 10th, Wednesday the 10th, we do have a circle day, and that's a great day to start new things. So if you need to start something on the second week of June, or even in the first part of the month, you might start on that 10th, where we have Mercury harmoniously sextiled with Venus, and the Sun harmoniously sextiled with Uranus. And there's so much with Venus is getting ready to join Jupiter. Jupiter is trining Uranus. There's a lot of feeling of luck, expansion, comfort, and even money. And Uranus is such an internet planet. It's so if you got sales to start, something a promotion you want to start online, start a new business or some such, that might be an excellent time to do it.
And of course, all those are good reasons to start something new, and doubly so if you're ruled by either Mercury, Venus, Saturn, or the moon is even in a Mars-ruled sign. So you've really got all the personal planets really just about covered there in happy, harmonious aspects with each other. So
exactly.
That's why it points towards a really good day to start a new venture, project, way of being.
And on the 11th, Mercury finally goes direct. Hooray! And Uranus is doubly well aspected that day, in addition to Jupiter and Mars. And so another really good day to try something new, to get online, to online dating even, some new, a new project, a new education, something even, might be something very helpful for you with Mercury finally going direct.
Well, the very next day, though, Turbulent City again is Neptune going retrograde. Now, we didn't make that a black box day because Neptune's energy is not an externalized energy to begin with. And it's a planet that's very far away. You can't see it without a telescope. It's called a generational planet because it doesn't affect us on a kind of day-to-day basis. It's our dream life, it's our inspiration, it's our ideas, it's our guru, it's our spiritual guide. When it goes retrograde, it turns that more internalized. So you may well find that you're going to be looking for spiritual guidance or new ideas or new inspiration to inspire you to make changes or a new path in your life during that time, because that energy that usually is out there for you to have to reach out and tap into is very much internalized, so it's right there.
Yeah, that's a great day if you've wanted to start meditating or yoga. That's a great day to do it. Shoring up your spiritual tools often helps. Neptune also has a lot to do with dreams, and people find either they sleep really well during Neptune retrograde or they don't sleep really well during Neptune retrograde. You can have so many dreams that they keep you up at night, or you could, find that you're really in that sleep groove, so you may find your sleep to be disrupted during that time as the change is over from direct to retrograde on the 12th.
Right. And then, Neptune is also the modern ruler of Pisces. So all the sort of things that are related to Pisces, which I just have to mention as an aside, I don't even know why, but there are more millionaires that are born in the sign of Pisces than any other sign. So people don't always think of Neptune as a planet of money that's related to money and finance, but it really is. These are the people who have these wildly inspired by a dream kind of ideas that no one else could implement
hula
but
hoop.
them, you
Yeah.
know? So,
I mean, like a hula hoop, like something kooky and crazy, but what it does is it's got that community connection. You know, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and so it kind of encompasses, you know, us as a group, you know, kind of a thing. You know, if Virgo's the opposite side, if she's the caretaker, Pisces is sort of the group caretaker, you know, as it were, even. So
and also the vessel of all the knowledge that went before. You know, we call it the old man of the zodiac because it's learned everything starting in Aries and going through all of the signs, and then comes from a point of Aries being, I'm the whole world, and to Pisces saying, I am but a speck, you know, and so you really sort of figure out where you fit in the whole scheme of things. In this beautiful dance of the rotation of the signs. And so you're now the vessel that holds all this knowledge. So it's not that surprising to me that these would be some of the most successful people.
And then on the 14th, we see that Saturn in his retrograde motion finally crosses the threshold back into Scorpio. Please don't panic. Everything's going to be fine. I think that, you know, for a lot of us, the energy on those issues are going to build once the new moon happens on the 16th. You know, we might kind of lick our wounds a little on the 14th, you know, and, oh no, we're here again kind of a thing. But then as the 16th comes and the new moon happens, and especially as it goes from Gemini, the thinking sign, to Cancer, you know, we've got that such Cancerian energy of the goat year, as is my feeling. You know, I mean, we're going to be able to take a fresh look and be able to get up and address that Saturn in Scorpio stuff again come the new moon on the 16th, I have a feeling.
Well, and I have to say that, you know, a lot of people are just sort of scared of the Scorpio energy, you know, but, you know, this is a transformative energy, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, this happens on the day of the Bear Flag Rebellion that established California. So we've, you know, that was a transformative change and a powerful change. And Scorpio is about power, but very much taking responsibility for your own personal power. I mean, yes, Scorpio looks at things that people are a little squeamish to look at sometimes, but when you do, that's when you gain your power. So, you know, having a Scorpio sun, I have dealt with these issues throughout my life, and I can tell you that it's not as scary as it sounds, maybe for some of the people around me, but I can't testify for that.
As a child, I can say not too bad.
But, you know, you need to come to a place in your life through your transits where your own personal power doesn't scare you anymore and you don't try to run away from it. So to have this little dip, and it doesn't stay there that long, you know, this is just a little reminder back again. I think it's there till September or something like that. And then you're clear, you know, and then hopefully you will take your personal power. One of the most personal things that you can do to show your personal power or combine your personal power with other people's personal power is to vote. You know, I'm hoping that these hits with Scorpio, because voting is a very scorpionic thing. You do it in private and you get to decide who you want to make the rules. You know, it's a very scorpionic practice, and I'm always surprised that so few people, percentage-wise, take that power seriously.
Well, and again, I think you're right about the idea that the Scorpio thing kind of scares folks, the control. You know, we are not, I think they said people are afraid not so much that they have no power, but that they have ultimate power, you know, I mean, and are reluctant to step into those shoes and take that responsibility. Whenever I hear someone's having a difficult Pluto transit, I think of Matthew Curry's words, who said you need to look Pluto in the eye and remind him that your love is so strong, it can go all the way to the underworld and back, you know. I mean, you have survived. You are who you are from your own inner need and desire, and being able to be strong in that Plutonian energy rather than, you know, cowering in front of it. Makes a big difference. But this is going to be sort of short-lived. It's only going to be, Saturn's only going to be in Scorpio until September. And as we talked about in our last episode, it's going to be sort of a checkup, you know, and a chance for course corrections and a time for those who tried to avoid this issue for the last 2.5 years, you know, before December, that it was in there, you know, to be able to step up, take a look, make adjustments, and move forward. So ultimately, they're trying to help us. These transits are trying to support us and give us a chance to make and create a world that, you know, fits our deepest needs and desires, and that's a good thing.
Well, and also on that the 14th, that Bear Flag Day, we've got the Sun conjunct Mars, and you would think, oh, that's you know, headlong into the abyss kind of a energy boost, but it's not really, because the Mars, when it's so closely conjunct to the Sun, can be a little intimidated by the Sun. So it actually can be a little bit of a cautionary influence on Mars, as well as that Saturn moving into Scorpio will also be a cautionary influence onto Mars, because Saturn is now in the one of the signs that Mars rules. So it's sort of a structuring of Mars that you don't always get.
Additionally, on the 14th, we have the moon is in Gemini, and Mercury is doubly well aspected that day. So that sounds like a really good day for communication. And Jupiter is also well aspected that way. So there is a chance for expansion and growth in this, and even some luck. You know, so again, trying not to be reactive, you know, being able to, you know, think about things, you know, and give something a try, you know, before you dismiss it, you know, especially when it's someone nearby, you know, somebody that you love or that you share a household with, that you, because we all have to agree, we all have to be able to have enough freedom, even in our closest personal relationships, you know, to be able to be fulfilled and happy as humans, you know. So we do need to sometimes give in and let the other person drive a little while.
Well, I like that Jupiter, because it kind of makes you more generous and expansive to the people that you're communicating with, you know, maybe a bit more cooperative and a little more optimistic, which means you're not going to expect the worst, you're going to expect the best from that person.
As long as you're not blowing things out of proportion.
Right.
Because there is also the possibility with Saturn to make mountains out of molehills, you know, so
Jupiter, I think
that's what I mean to say, Jupiter, yes, to make a bigger deal out of something than it really is. So
especially Jupiter in Leo.
Yeah.
Little grandiose can be.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we love Jupiter and Leo.
And
Jupiter, really, you know, spend more time in the sun. Get that vitamin D3 that you need.
Right.
Everybody's deficient in vitamin D3.
Right.
This is the time when you're going to start spending a little more time in the sun and replenishing your vitamin stores.
And Jupiter is only in Leo once again until August 11th. And so, you know, we really need to take that courageous heart energy and let it take us as far as it can go before it moves into the next sign of Virgo.
Can you tell me more about Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is the first holiday design, and it was started in Texas, and it is meant to celebrate the liberation of American slaves, and that's what it's all about. Yeah.
I love to see it on the calendar.
I love to see
I love
it too.
to say it. And I think
does
it's
feel good to
important
say,
for people to just know what that really is.
Yeah, celebrating the end of slavery in America, Juneteenth. Yeah.
I love that.
And more that holiday is picking up momentum. You know, you can see Juneteenth celebrations happening in the news sometimes and things like that. It's really lovely to see.
Why don't we all make that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
There you go.
I like that. So the sun enters Cancer on the 21st. We have a lovely white circle day for Father's Day. We usually try to get a white circle day for Mother's Day. And as much as we try, it's so hard for us to kind of force that on Father's Day. So I'm thrilled that this year we have a white circle day for Father's Day.
Well, and isn't it fun? They said that we said that the goat energy, you know, it's the wood goat?
Sheep or goat,
And
yes.
the goat sheep is akin to Cancerian energy, which is that family energy, which sets the tone for the year. And we had last month, we had Venus in homey Cancer for Mother's Day, and now we have the Sun in homey Cancer for Father's Day. It's so nice to see those
Bind the
themes
family together.
reinforced throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because family is certainly going to be a big focus for a lot of people this year, and a lot of, that's our base, that's our foundation, it's our fundamental, platform from where everything goes, and so getting that into shape so that it's wonderful for everyone, is such an important thing before we move on to bigger and better things.
Exactly. So then we have that, as you said, Mars is entering Cancer on the 24th, right after Father's Day.
Oh, perfect. The masculine energy and
now
happy
we've got
homey too.
In my world, we say the ganze Mishpacha
there you
in
go.
Cancer there. So that's
nice.
nice. A very sort of family time. Very nice for the summer vacation for the children to really think about family-oriented activities and spending a little bit more family time together.
Yeah.
And of course, the most Cancerian object that we have in our day-to-day world is our car. Because our cars are like our big purse. It's like our crab shell, and it's our home on wheels, and we take our home. So maybe it's a time for those drives with the family, or
I was just going to say exactly the same thing. Father's Day camping trips.
Yeah.
Mercury loves to travel. Mercury's in Gemini. It seems like now that Mercury's gone direct on the 11th, by around Father's Day, it seems like the Father's Day camping trips or outings, will really go smoothly this year. So that sounds wonderful.
But car vacations, not flying, because flying that's not Cancerian at all.
No.
And not as much fun as it used to be.
I find that hard to believe.
Not with the family, anyway. I mean, the car is a great way to have the whole family together, an affordable way to take the whole family on a vacation. It gets very expensive to
They're
fly.
the trips that you remember as an adult, don't you? I mean, my boyfriend was just saying,
he's touching me.
They used to go to the family camping trips, and each one of them got left behind at a gas station. It had a big family, so each one of them has their stories of, these kinds of things, and it's always fun. That's really the things that bind us together as a family very often.
Right. So hopefully you'll be able to get that breath in towards the end of the month when things sort of level off a little bit and everything improves. That whole family feeling gets to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Of course, we can look at planting times again, for a minute, and they're mostly during the week. Remember that you want to do your planting on the water moons, and if you can't do it on the water moons, then choose the earth moons. There's a whole little chart for that in the back of the calendar, on the back page of the
that's
calendar.
For sure. Extremely good days, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So to me, if you want to plan on the weekend, the 27th is your best bet for planting. The moon's in the first quarter. That should be lovely.
Well, and so for more of these details and little tricks about how to use the calendar or planting or any of those other ideas, visit us at Facebook and at planetarycalendar.com or spaceandtime.com. And
we'd love to hear from you.
And for Planetary Calendar, that's bye-bye for June.
Bye.